Hey friends, this is Eunice and welcome to the Journey Home podcast. So those of you who have been following me know that we have moved to Pennsylvania and we have finally gotten in our new house and have mostly unpacked. Now we just have curtains to put up. So that is pretty amazing. I feel so blessed to finally be settled in our own beds, sitting on our own sofa, eating from our own dining room table, and not just like some makeshift thing happening. And so it just feels nice, as many of you guys probably understand, to just like unwind in our own space as a family. And so we feel tremendously blessed. Something interesting, though, for those of you who are interested in hearing about us buying this house, is that it has been quite a roller coaster journey. And so it honestly was probably one of the most difficult purchases in house selling and buying that we've had. Honestly, it was quite a roller coaster, just different unusual hiccups in the process, honestly. And I think it also just felt more like extreme to me in the sense that we were moving across the country. But then these hiccups were pretty, honestly, just inconvenient and annoying. But at the same time, I think it also was contrasted to how easy the process was in selling in Colorado. And so that was just the Lord's kindness. The funny thing is about having a more bumpy journey on this end and an easier journey on the Colorado end is just thinking about the Lord's goodness. Because the thing is the Lord was in both of those processes. Us selling our Colorado house so miraculously was absolutely the Lord. And us being able to purchase this house in the midst of some unusual difficulties is also the Lord. And that's something that I've just been thinking a lot about, is like how the Lord is in that. If you guys remember this sitcom from like the 80s or 90s, and it was called Facts of Life. And I remember the song from it went like, you take the good, you take the bad, you take them both, and there you have the facts of life. And that is often life, that journey of just like up and down, and some things go amazingly well, and in the midst of rejoicing over that, other things have a bumpier process. But how the Lord is our anchor through that all. Something that the Lord was just highlighting to me yesterday is in Lamentations 3, starting at verse 22. Because of the Lord's great love, we are not consumed, for his compassions never fail. They are new every morning. Great is your faithfulness. And something I love about just walking with the Lord is he is always there for us. He is there in the ups, the downs. He is there just guiding us. And that is something beautiful, to have him as our anchor, him as our guide. And something else I love about the Lord that I have been leaning into a lot is just how, hey, we go to bed tonight, his mercies are there for us, his compassion, new every morning. And that's honestly something that I have been living with and for, the truth of that, because I feel like day to day there's been like something new that's come up that we've had to just get used to, honestly. Like, I am from this area. I grew up like an hour from where I'm living now, but it's been a minute, it's been actually like 25 years of a minute. And so although it's like familiar, it also is really not. It feels like just adapting to a new place, new people, new grocery store. Like, it's funny how the different rhythms of our life and our habits, they really get settled in us, and then we have to like reacclimate, readjust, be flexible in the midst of transition and move. And none of it is like bad at all. It's just change. You know what I mean? And so this is a scripture that I feel like I am just clinging to, is every day his compassions, they never fail. They are new every morning. And something else I'm getting used to is a new rhythm of my morning. Because if you follow me on social media, you have seen that we have gotten a new puppy. So, in the midst of all of this change, we actually also got a puppy. And many of you might be wondering, why would you do that to yourselves? I have been wondering the same thing, but in reality, it was not an impulsive decision. It's something that we have been praying about because our girls have been petitioning for this puppy for almost a year. Knowing this transition was coming up, my husband and I really prayed about it, and we felt like this actually could be a good new chapter for the girls. And something that could help them in this transition would be this puppy. And so each morning at 5:45 a.m., this puppy is ready and wide-eyed waiting for us to walk her. And so it's just funny how, like I said, I feel like every morning I am leaning into the Lord for the day, just because of all the new rhythms that we're really trying to establish in our lives and just trying to get into a system, a schedule, a rhythm. And so I don't know if any of you guys are in the same boat, but thanks for listening to my journey. I hope that you can glean some nuggets from it. So just pivoting just a little, along with the newness of each morning, something the Lord's been speaking to me about is Jeremiah 31, okay, starting in verse 3. And this scripture says, I have loved you with an everlasting love. I have drawn you with unfailing kindness. And something this past Sunday the Lord was reminding me of again is how, sometimes we as parents, we get so caught up in the day-to-day living, just getting through this day, getting through all the different activities that the kids have, getting driving them to that or feeding them another meal. Every day they need to be fed. And sometimes those things can honestly, they drain us, right? And so something that the Lord was speaking to me this past Sunday was reminding me again, Eunice, and I felt like he wanted me to remind all of you guys, honestly, is how like when you look at your kid and you look upon them with such love and affection and you can feel the Lord's heart for your child. Or let's say you hear like, for God so loved the world. You have faith to believe that the Lord loves all of the people that are lost in this world. And as Christians, I think that's something that's easier for us to do. But something that the Lord was reminding me of is, do you, Eunice, as a mother, believe that for yourself? And this is something that I felt like he wanted me to just bring up before all the Christians listening to this podcast. Do you believe that for yourself? It's easy for us to believe that for the people in our sphere. Often we are helping, pouring out, serving, loving those in our sphere, whether that's our children, the people we work with, the people at our church, the people that are our neighbors down the street. Often it's easier for us to believe, oh, the Lord loves, he loves the world. Do you know that you are part of this world? And that he has great love and compassion for you, and grace, compassion, mercy for you. Dear parent listening, to that Christian listening to this podcast today, that love is also for you. You are part of this world and you are part of his heart. He loves you deeply. And that's something that I just wanted to share with you guys, because I know that was a word the Lord wanted me to share with all of you guys this week is, do you know that my love is also for you? It's not just for your neighbor down the street. It's not just for, that teacher that's been on your heart to pray for, your coworker. Yes, his love is great enough for them. And it's also great enough for you. And that's something that I really felt like he wanted me to share so that all of my listeners could receive that this week, is that his compassions, they are new every morning for you and for the world. but also for you. And so I hope that you can receive that into your spirit and that gives you some encouragement today and this week to just receive the Lord's love. I pray that every person listening today can receive the Lord's love in a new measure. So I hope that this encouraged some hearts today. I hope that you have an amazing week. Bye-bye.